So, thanks to Harry's BBC interview, in which he essentially is saying that his father is to blame and is the one responsible for whatever happens to him, Meghan, or his kids. Well, this is a new level of hypocrisy and, yeah, next level entitlement that we have seen nowhere. And I want to call that out here. I already made a thorough body language analysis on my body language guy channel. Make sure that you check it out there. It is enlightening from all the manipulation that Harry tried to apply in those 36 minutes of interview. I don't cover the full 36 minutes because there's a lot of filler in there. But I make sure to cover the most important thing, which was some of his, let's say, not only his body language, but here I wanted to mention this. I want to mention this clip in which, by the way, I used to open that body language analysis and comment a bit about it.
There is a lot of control and ability in...
I want to say things and comment on things like, there is a lot of control and ability in my father's hands. I mean, this is exactly the same what he did directly with Queen Elizabeth back in the day, in which he said that Queen Elizabeth could essentially tell Ravek to just give Harry the security that he needed. And we already knew back then. I did my thorough research just to be sure, and I made a video exposing Harry for him knowing that it was not possible. And he was essentially, literally smearing his grandmother's name and reputation. He was essentially saying that his grandmother was the one to blame for him not having security. He literally said that back then. I think that that was not something that many people could forgive. I think that displayed Harry's true character at once. After all that he said, that, oh, I respect my grandmother, I could never blindside my grandmother, all that was crap. This is the real Harry that we saw here. And that was the confirmation now that he's saying, even despite that they were talking about King Charles' current health status, in which Harry himself uses manipulation to say, I don't know, or we don't know how much my father has. It's implying that since we don't know when my father is going to die, he could die at any moment, then he should do something about my security status, because he has the power, he has the control and the ability.
Control and ability in my father's hands. Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him.
Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him. That is, you cannot take that out of context. There's no way of taking that out of context. He's directly blaming King Charles, his father, for his security issues, for his security problems, and is blaming him in advance for whatever could happen to him, to Meghan, or their kids. I'm going to say it right now. You remember that they manufactured that fake car chase in New York, right? That was no, how could it's in essence, how could you have a car chase in Manhattan? We don't know, but they did that back then, right? I wouldn't be surprised that they have some kind of, I don't know, car chase scare anew, with, I don't know, a report or something like that. I'm going to say this, it's like, he must be really bitter for the way that he lost that security, those security demands. He must be really bitter. And imagine Meghan, which I'm pretty sure that it was Meghan coaching him off camera what to say. Harry absolutely was trained, was coached, and what to say in this interview. But imagine now what what he
that if
claims.
anything was to happen to me, my wife, or my father's grandchildren, look where the responsibility lies.
Yeah, he was talking about King Charles. Look where the responsibility lies. And he was talking not only about King Charles, but the royal family as well. But that was like a kind of a catch-22, because he, at the same time, he said, this result, the result of this lawsuit, of this trial, means that my family could be trapped in terms of security. Wait a second. You're saying that it's your family, your father, the one who controls security, but at the same time, you say that your family could be controlled by the security issues. It's either one or the other, Harry. You cannot have both of them at the same time. It's the kind of things that you realize that he's truly desperate. And I'm here to call him out for all the ways that he's trying to make it seem. And this is something that I just can't stand. How he keeps blaming the royal family, and especially his father, for this. And at the same time, how he keeps saying that he wants a reconciliation. I don't know what kind of reconciliation would he expect if he himself says that there are many things that his family is not going to forgive him, which by the way, that is a let's say a broader topic in which you could say, okay, if you're a true Christian, you would forgive whatever Harry did. So Harry's saying that they are not capable of forgiving him. Yeah, but you know that, well, that is a very personal stance. You can be a good Christian, but you can you should not allow other people to just walk over you and literally make your life miserable just because you're a good Christian. No, you have to stop people at some point. All right, you can turn and give the other cheek, but we have only two cheeks, so you essentially have only two opportunities. You can give people just two opportunities, and that's it. But well, Harry uses that for gaslighting and manipulation.
There are things that have happened that I can now forgive. I can forgive my family's involvement, my father's, my brother.
Again, this is the way that grandstanding in which, all right, by this point, I can forgive my father, my brother. I can't be forgiven. He also says, I can't forgive my stepmother. He says that as in, okay, after much deliberation, much reflection, I have decided to, forgive them for all that they have done to me. And he said, not only from 2016 and onwards, the Meghan era, but before, throughout his whole life. And he said, by the way, that he has been serving the UK for 35 years. And my question is, how was he serving the UK when he was 5 years old? That I don't get. I really don't get that. But again, there are many things that are hard to swallow, especially how much hypocrisy you can condense. In this case, this was only 30 seconds of clips, and the last clip that I want you to watch is this one.
I believe that I am still continuing to serve my country. Public service is my life. That is the dedication that will never change.
Again, this was very triggering on my Royal Rogue account on X. I just uploaded a screenshot, not even a clip, a screenshot of this. He really said that public service is my life. And he talked about his charities in the UK. How could I be a patron for my charities in the UK if I don't have the security that I need? And that is a question that people are asking. So many royals, so many members of the royal family who have the bare minimum of security, and they have that security when they are working, and they're perfectly fine. And Harry acts like, oh yeah, it's like Al Qaeda had this target on me, and that's on you. Again, he wrote the memoirs, he stirred the pot. He began that was on purpose. All that Harry has done so far is to regain that international protected person status. That's all that he wants. That's the instructions. That is the command that Meghan is pushing behind the scenes. They want that so they could look as important. They could have, the full SUV entourage when they go everywhere. You have this protection when they go to other countries, because according to them, their private security is not enough. It's not enough to protect them. And of course, there's King Charles, who is ill, is so evil at the same time that he won't move a finger to see his grandchildren again. How evil is he? How could he? Again, this is all a narrative. This is all manipulation done in a way to portray the royal family as the villains and portray himself as, I'm a man of service. Public service is my life. Yeah, he actually said that. And he actually said that I'm ready to forgive my brother and father. And the other part that he said, and I need to mention here as well, is that we don't want history to repeat itself, as in we don't want what happened to my mother to happen to me or my wife or, the stuff. But according to him, there are people who actually want history to repeat itself, as in there are people who want Harry dead or Meghan dead or something like that. And it's good that the BBC reporter asked him, okay, those are very heavy words. That is a very damning accusation. Who are those people who want you dead or want you harm in some way? Oh, I cannot say that at this moment. No, you cannot say that, Harry, because those people are non-existent, are literally non-existent. That is that is the kind of, I don't know, you're trying to self-aggrandize yourself in a way that you are this, how to say this, like you are the one who escaped the royal family, the firm, and now he says that, well, he cannot leave that. He cannot be disconnected from that. In that same interview, by the way, I remember that he said this, had this contradiction. He said that Meghan and him were not allowed to continue. They were suppressed. They were excised. They were canceled from being a working royals. Like, they were kicked out. Again, if you can believe my word, or you can watch the interview, but he said that. And at other point, he said that they decided to just step away from the firm. So which one is it? And other part of the interview, he says that he could never be not be part of his family, and he could never not be part of the UK. So he, since he was born into this, then he absolutely needs that security. Again, when you put all these clips in order,
there is a lot of control and ability in my father's hands. Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him. But if anything was to happen to me, my wife, or my father's grandchildren, look where the responsibility lies. And there are things that have happened that I can now forgive. I can forgive my family's involvement, my father's, my brother. I believe that I am still continuing to serve my country. Public service is my life.
You heard him, and it's baffling to hear. But this is what happened. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Remember to download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video, and check my merch right below this video as well. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.